Hi there, I'm Andrew and this is a video all about how to use idioms, phrasal verbs, less common words and collocations in English. Why might you want to do this? A, because it will help you sound more like a native speaker, and B, if you're taking any kind of English test such as the IELTS exam or the FCE or the CAE, the more you can sound like a native speaker, the better the score you will get in your examination. Now, so those are some of the words that we're looking at. I expect you're wondering what some of these mean. I hope you'll be able to work it out from the context. Let's see, shall we? So, here's the first question. It's a part 2 IELTS question. Talk about a sport that you played as a child. Well, I was really sporty when I was young. In fact, I was often in trouble for staying on the playing field all lunchtime to play football, rather than going in to eat my lunch. That was until the powers that be decided to ban football on the playing field, all because somebody broke their leg in a game. As you can imagine, that went down like a lead balloon with me and my mates. I was the same at home too. I was always making up excuses to get out of doing homework just so that I could spend more time scoring goals. I was a striker and I played for the school team. I once scored a hat-trick as we ran up a cricket score against our rival school. If memory serves, then I think the score was 11-2 or something outlandish like that. So that's a part 2 example answer to this question. And I'm going to leave that there for a few seconds to see if you can work out the meaning of some of these expressions from the context in which I've presented them. If you can, that will be good for you. You're more likely to be able to remember something that you've worked out for yourself rather than simply me telling you later on. So now we're going to look at a part 3 answer from the IELTS exam. Here's your question. Do you think that the type of sports that are popular will change in the future? Definitely. Apart from anything else, we've already seen that contact sports are becoming less and less popular as society gets more and more risk-averse. For example, in America, fewer and fewer people want to play American football. Too many people have been put off by concussion stories after collisions, and now they are voting with their feet and playing non-tackle versions of the sport, or just playing other sports. So again, I'll leave that there for a few seconds, in the hope that you can work out for yourself the meaning of some of these expressions. We have our collocations in light blue, our less common words in purple, our idiom in the kind of gold colour. Okay, so let's find out what any of these expressions that you couldn't work out the meaning of, let's find out what they do in fact mean. So, to go down like a lead balloon means to be very unpopular. To vote with your feet means to show, by being absent or not present, that you no longer want to do something, you're no longer interested in something. For example, in taking part in something, in buying something, etc. To run up a cricket score. This is a native English expression and it's based on our national summer sport of cricket. It's a great sport and you should probably try it sometime. And it means to score a huge number of points or goals in a sports match. To make up is a phrasal verb meaning to create or invent a reason, story, excuse. Something that isn't true. To get out of doing something means to avoid doing that thing. It means you do your best to make sure that you don't have to do it. To be put off something or someone means to be made to feel as though something or someone is best avoided, as though you don't want to spend your time with that person or in that place. Okay, some more words for you. Sporty. This is simply an adjective that describes somebody that plays a lot of sport. So if you're doing a spoken exam in English, rather than saying I like sport, I strongly advise you to say instead, I'm really sporty, because that will create a better impression with the examiner, because it's a much less common word. It's a word that most students don't know. The powers that be. This means the people that are in charge of something. Mates is just another word for friends. Again, this is a good word to use in your speaking exam for the IELTS instead of simply saying friends all the time. A hat trick, if you score a hat trick, then you score 3 times in a sports match. If memory serves, this is a kind of noun-verb type of collocation, and it means if I remember correctly. So it's a good little expression that you can use in your speaking exam if you have to talk about something that happened in the past, which you almost certainly will in your IELTS speaking exam. Outlandish means that something is crazy or unbelievable. Contact sports are sports that involve physical contact, such as American football, rugby, boxing, sports of that nature. If you are risk averse, then you prefer to avoid risk. This word averse, if you are averse to something, you don't like to do it. Concussion is a type of head injury that results from a collision. What's a collision? It's another word for when 2 people or things, so it could be cars, it doesn't have to be people, bang or crash into each other. So, finally, a few other examples in context for you. His new yacht cost an outlandish amount of money. A yacht is a type of boat that is owned by very rich people. I don't gamble because I'm risk averse. The supermarket tried to sell a new type of ketchup, but shoppers voted with their feet. In other words, they stopped going to that supermarket because they didn't like this type of ketchup. They went to a different supermarket instead. When I was a child, I'd do anything to get out of washing the dishes. I thought it would be great to go to Brazil, but then I heard that there's lots of crime there, and that put me off. Okay, so I hope those extra sentences with a few of those expressions were helpful for you. It would be really good if in the comments section you could add your own examples of some of these sentences to show me that you have understood the vocabulary that I've shown you in this lesson. Also, if you have any questions for me, please do ask them in the comments section below this video. And if the video has been useful, please subscribe. You'll find a button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and goodbye.